Welcome. In today's video I'm just going to show you how to change the IP address on a Windows machine. I've just arrived at a site with my laptop and I need to configure a new IP camera. Now whenever you need to connect your laptop to another network, you need to make sure that your laptop's network settings are configured to be in the same range as the device you're trying to connect to. Now I know the IP camera that I want to connect to has an IP address of 192.168.1.108 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Okay, the first thing I need to check is my current IP address on my laptop. Now to check what your current IP address is, you need to open up a command prompt. In Windows 7 you click on the Start menu, then Run. Then you type CMD, as we see here, or you can use the Windows shortcut, the Windows key, then R combination. So CMD, press OK. Now from here we can type IP config space /all. This will tell us all our network address settings currently. And I'll press enter. Okay, now I'll scroll back up and I'll find my network that I'm currently using, which is this one here. And our current IP address is listed just here. So on mine it's 192.168.3.25 and my current subnet mask is 255.255.255.0 and you see the gateway there. Okay, so with these settings I can't connect to the camera. So if I try to ping the camera address, and as you can see I can't ping the camera address, which I shouldn't be able to because I'm not on the same network. I just wanted to show you that. So we'll cancel that. Now we'll go and change our network address to be in the same range as the camera. And to do that we go down here to the bottom right of the Windows taskbar and we look at this icon just here. That's the network icon, so we right click over that and select Open Network and Sharing Center. And this opens up here, and then we click on Change Adapter Settings over here. Click there. And once we're in Network Connections, you right click over your current network adapter that you're using, which in my case is this one here. So I'll right click over here, then click Properties. Okay, and this opens up the Ethernet Properties window. Now once we're in here we need to scroll right down the bottom, and what we're interested in is the Internet Protocol version 4. So I can either double click on it to bring that up, or I can highlight it and click Properties. Okay, now this is where our current IP is listed and set. Now your laptop may be actually set to obtain automatically an IP address automatically, like we see here. If it is, you simply need to change it over to this radio box here. Use the following IP address. That allows you to then to input your address fields. If you remember back when we used the IP config /all command, it showed us this is our current address, which it is, and we see our default gateway settings here and DNS settings. Now for our purposes we actually don't need to populate the default gateway and DNS server. However, if you wanted to connect to the internet or needed to connect to the internet, you would have to populate the default gateway and the DNS address fields. And in a lot of sites, that IP address for the gateway and the DNS server are the same, not always, but a lot of the time. And they are usually the same IP address as your modem router or 3G gateway IP address. So in this case, my router in this case has an IP address of 192.168.3.1. Now we'll actually change the IP address to an address that's in the range of the IP camera. Remember, the IP camera and the other IP address settings on this site are actually the 192.168.1 network. Now they have a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, which is a very simple subnet mask. Basically, it means the first three octets, these numbers here, are the actual network address, and the last octet is the actual host's address. Now, I am going to choose an IP address that I know no other device is on. So I'm going to choose 188, and I know I should change that to 1, of course. And I know the default gateway and DNS for this site is 192.168.1.1. So I'm going to change that as well. So I've basically changed the IP address. Once I click OK, that should be set. So I'll just click OK and then close. So now if we go back to our command prompt and we can do another IP config, scroll back up, and as we can see, here's my new IP address just changed. So now I can try pinging that camera, and now I can ping the camera, which means I should be able to open the web page of the camera as well. And just on a side note, with the ping command, of course, if you can't ping a device on a network, you're not going to be able to connect to it, either remotely or via another computer or a recorder. So the ping command is used to test basic network connectivity. And if you don't get a response from ping, you're not going to be able to connect to the computer until it has been resolved, the connectivity issue. So if I try to ping a device that's not on the network, it will fail. So the ping command is the basic first step in determining if you can connect to a computer or a network device or IP camera. And that's basically how you change your IP address in Windows. Now, I'll just go through the process of opening the web page of the camera. So I'll open an Internet Explorer instance. And after the 2 forward slashes, making sure there's no S in next to the P, I'll type in the IP address of the camera. So as you can see here, this is what you enter. Now I'll click enter, I'll press enter I should say. And now we've got the web page open. I'll just make that a bit smaller so you can see the prompt. I've got a prompt down here. Now before I do that, I want to make sure my Internet Explorer web browser is configured correctly. So I'm going to click on this little cog symbol here. Then go to compatibility view settings, and I want to add this here, so I click on the add button. Now I can close. And another setting I have to set is under this menu here. So click on the cog, then go to Internet Options, and then we go to Security, open the Security tab, Trusted Sites, and then click on the Sites button here. And then we want to add this address here. Now on some systems this will be ticked. We need to untick this. If this is ticked, we don't need server verification. So we just click add and close. And we just need to do one more thing. and that's click while still in the security menu, click on the custom level and scroll down about 2 or 3 times until we see this one here. This is the important one here. It should be on prompt. Download unsigned ActiveX controls. That needs to be prompt. It's often disabled by default. We need to change that to prompt like you see here. And that's basically it. We click OK and OK again. And now we can click allow down here. And once logged in, you may get a further prompt to download or install the plugin like we see here. You simply click on that and then we'll click on run. And you may get a further prompt, yes. And install. And that basically wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.